Number 10 asks, what are the zeros of the following function? The zeros of the function are where the graph crosses the x-axis. So what I'm going to do is plug in that expression into my calculator. I'm going to hit graph. And if you notice, I only see the parabola going through the x-axis at -2. So that's one of my zeros. Unfortunately, the other one's off the graph. So what I'm going to do is go to Window and then change my minimum x value to -20 and my maximum x value to 20. So if you notice, the parabola is going through -2 and 15. And number 11, they're asking for the average rate of change of two pictures. Remember, well, graphically, the average rate of change essentially means slope, but we're almost going to apply the slope formula here per se. We're going to treat these as ordered pairs, 436.6 and 015. Now, the reason why I'm focusing on them is because it says the original photograph to the fourth enlargement. So what I'm going to do is basically do the slope formula, 36.6 minus 15 divided by 4 minus 0. Choice number 3. For number 12, they want to know which of the following functions, which one of the following graphs could be this. What you could do is you could plug all these into your calculator and see which one looks the same. That would definitely work. But there's a theorem saying that, if this 0, where the graph crosses the x-axis is at 3, then that means that the function has a factor of x minus 3. There's a 0 at 1, that means it has a factor of x minus 1. But now that this 0 is at -2, we're going to say the 0 is at x plus 2. So now we're going to look up here and see, I basically factored this to x plus 2 and x minus 1, and by the commutative property, it doesn't matter what order I multiply. So my answer matches choice 2. In number 13, they give you some data and they ask you which of the functions matches this data. Well, to jump right into it, the answer is number 2. The reason why that is if I take 0, 2, and 4, these are our inputs. These are the values that you are putting in for t. So what I do is put those values, 0, 2, and 4, in for t. And I get 25 to the first power, 25 to the third, and 25 to the fifth. Now doing 25 to the first, I get 25, 25 to the third, I get 15,625, and doing 25 to the fifth, I get 9,765,625. For number 14, the answer is number 3. Which one has the largest maximum? This parabola's largest maximum is 4.5. This looks like in this table its largest maximum is like 9.25. There's going to be somewhere in between there, or you could just say 9. So jumping right into number 3, what I did was I put it into my calculator, I graphed it, and then I noticed that its maximum is well over 10. This graph was 4.5. This one is over 10, so it's got to be choice number 3. For number 15, they're asking which of these values of x, when plugged in, is this one less than that one. So what I've done is I've plugged in all of my choices. -1, I've plugged in 2, I'm going to plug in -3, and I'm going to plug in 4. So I use my calculator to compute all of these values. So which of these 4 is the f of x value less than the g of x value? Which one is the top less than these bottom entries? It looks like it's when I plugged in -1 was this one less than that one. Choice 1.